This is the second highest grossing film in Korean box office history. To bring this movie to life, the production team invested 2 billion won to build 7 layers of hell, recreating a variety of terrifying punishments. The film is Along with the Gods. The story begins in a burning high-rise where a firefighter suffers an accident during a rescue and falls from a great height. Before hitting the ground, he tightly shields the little girl he has just rescued in his arms. Fortunately, both he and the child survive unharmed. Confused by what happened, he suddenly hears someone calling from behind. Turning around, he sees 2 men in black smiling at him beneath the building. The firefighter urges them to get away, but in a daze he notices something strange. The person lying on the ground is actually himself. Watching the desperate rescue efforts and his grief-stricken teammates, he finally realizes that he is dead. The men in black explain that they are guardians of the underworld responsible for guiding souls to the afterlife. However, he is fortunate because he sacrificed himself while saving others and has earned the title of a virtuous soul. The girl tells him that the last virtuous soul appeared 422 years ago. Coming to his senses, the firefighter keeps backing away. He does not want to die, nor does he want to leave his mother behind. But with a wave of a guardian's hand, he is instantly drawn into a sphere of light. Arriving in hell, he finds countless newly deceased souls gathered there. Each must face trials for the 7 deadly sins, and only those found innocent in every trial can be reincarnated. The 7 layers of hell judge people according to the weight of their sins, from the lightest to the most severe. His first trial is the hell of murder. The firefighter is stunned. He has spent his life saving people, so how could he possibly be guilty of killing anyone? The guardians explain that constant verbal abuse or even online harassment that indirectly causes someone's death can still result in a guilty verdict. Suddenly, the stone beneath his feet cracks open, revealing a boiling sea of fire below. Those found guilty in hell are thrown into it to suffer burning punishment. Kind-hearted as ever, the firefighter immediately begins helping others. At that moment, a terrifying figure appears and angrily declares himself the king of the underworld. The king demands to know why the firefighter abandoned a fellow firefighter during a rescue operation, indirectly leading to his death. Filled with guilt, the firefighter remains silent. The judge quickly decides to sentence him to the fire pit. At the critical moment, the guardians step forward and reveal the truth. During that rescue mission, his teammate had been trapped under debris and was unable to move. It was the teammate who insisted that others be rescued first. The firefighter fought desperately and saved 8 people. Just as he was about to return for his teammate, the entire building collapsed. After learning the truth, the king declares him innocent, allowing him to pass the first trial. They then cross the river of the dead by boat and head to the hell of indolence, where wasted lives are judged. The king of this realm does not even bring charges. Instead, he is moved by the firefighter's positive attitude toward life. King Chogang applauds him and asks what motivated him to work so hard. The firefighter answers that it was all for money. The smile instantly vanishes from the king's face. The firefighter has made a serious mistake. In hell, money is known as a false god, and worshipping it is considered a grave sin. With a single command from the king, the firefighter's raft is pushed forward. When he turns around, he is met with a horrifying sight beneath the waterfall. A massive stone mill slowly turns, packed with countless people running across its surface. They are all souls of the damned, punished for their laziness in life. In death, they are forced to run forever, and anyone who stops is mercilessly crushed beneath the wheel. The firefighter is stunned by the sight. The guardian quickly steadies the raft and summons night silence, asking King Chogang to review the firefighter's life once more. It turns out the firefighter worked 4 jobs while he was alive. After work, he delivered food to a barbecue restaurant. During weekends, he cleaned floors at a public bathhouse during the day and took extra shifts at night. He spent every day running from job to job, all for his sick mother and younger brother who was still in school. Yes, he worked for money, but he was also trapped by the hardships of life. After learning the truth, King Chogang declares him innocent, allowing him to pass the second trial. The group continues forward, but trouble soon appears. A swarm of vengeful spirits blocks their path. The guardians summon their weapons and begin fighting them off. Confused, the firefighter asks why this is happening. The guardians explain that one of his direct family members died unjustly and has become a vengeful spirit. The firefighter immediately panics, fearing that someone in his family has died. After narrowly escaping the attack, the lead guardian decides to investigate the human world personally. He visits the firefighter's home and unexpectedly encounters the firefighter's mother. After she leaves, he finally discovers the truth. The vengeful spirit is actually the firefighter's younger brother. The brother's spirit suddenly rushes away, and the guardian chases after him, causing chaos throughout the human world. but ultimately loses him. Not long afterward, the Guardian uncovers the truth at the military base where the brother served. Back then, while on duty, the brother learned of his older brother's death. A fellow soldier stepped forward to comfort him, but a nervous recruit accidentally discharged his weapon, shooting the brother in the abdomen. When a lieutenant arrived, he feared the incident would ruin his career and ordered the recruit to hide the evidence and bury the body. What they did not realize was that the brother was still alive at the time. To cover up the crime completely, the lieutenant falsely claimed that the brother had deserted the military. Afraid the truth might surface, he later gave the recruit leave, but the brother's spirit had already attached itself to him. The recruit drowns his guilt in alcohol at a bar, where the brother's spirit finds him and prepares to take his life. Before he can act, however, the recruit completely breaks down. Unable to bear the guilt any longer, he reveals the burial site to the brother's mother and decides to end his own life. Just as he is about to suffocate himself, the brother's spirit suddenly appears. He forgives the recruit and begs the Guardian to save his friend. The Guardian explains that he cannot interfere with human affairs, but the brother promises to return to hell immediately if he helps. The Guardian accepts the deal, saves the recruit's life, and tells him that the brother has forgiven him. He urges him to keep living and make the most of his life. At last, the brother's resentment fades away. Meanwhile in hell, the firefighter has reached the 6th trial, the hell of violence, where a major crisis awaits him. Because he once beat his younger brother without reason during high school, he is formally charged, and this time the accusation is valid. Just as he is about to be found guilty, the lead Guardian urgently contacts the female Guardian and requests that the final trial be merged with this one. If the firefighter is declared innocent in the 7th hell, he can still be reincarnated. But if he is found guilty, not only will he suffer terrible punishment, the Guardians will also lose their chance at reincarnation. The king agrees to the request, and they proceed to the final realm, the hell of filial piety. Since the firefighter has always been devoted to his family, everyone feels confident about the outcome. Back at the military base, the younger brother is preparing to return to hell with the Guardian when another accident occurs. Their mother storms into the base carrying a sign as she searches for her missing son. She refuses to believe that her son deserted the military and has come seeking the truth. The brother desperately shouts for her to leave, but she cannot hear him. Terrified that his crimes will be exposed, the lieutenant rushes forward, shoves the mother to the ground and knocks her unconscious. Unable to endure it any longer, the brother completely loses control, transforms into a dark spirit, and violently breaks free from his chains. A nearby Guardian tries to stop him but is instantly grabbed by the throat and thrown aside. Countless vengeful spirits are swept into the sky, forming a terrifying storm. Having completely lost his sanity, he throws the entire military base into chaos. The lead Guardian immediately calls for reinforcements. Deep within the underworld, another Guardian rushes to the scene and lands a direct strike on the spirit's weak point, but the enraged ghost refuses to fall. At the same time, the older brother in hell is affected as well and slowly begins sinking into quicksand. Just before he is swallowed, the female Guardian shouts the younger brother's name toward the sky. Seeing his brother in danger, the younger brother suppresses his hatred for the sake of saving him. Seizing the opportunity, the lead Guardian successfully subdues him. At that very moment, a massive palace rises from the sands of hell. It is the 7th hell, the hell of filial piety, and the one presiding over the trial is King Yomra himself. He immediately declares that the firefighter once harbored thoughts of killing both his parents, making him guilty. Back in high school, faced with a terminally ill mother and a malnourished younger brother, he had completely lost hope. He even considered ending their lives but ultimately could not go through with it and spent years consumed by regret. Later he left home and worked tirelessly to send money back to his family. The guilt weighed so heavily on him that he could never bring himself to face his mother again. Upon learning the truth, the Guardians fall into despair. The female Guardian attempts to defend him, arguing that there was no actual victim. However, King Yomra summons night silence and reveals what truly happened. On the day the firefighter planned to suffocate his mother, she had actually awakened. Unwilling to become a burden to her children, she was prepared to accept death herself. Yet she survived and continued living. Seeing the truth, the firefighter collapses to his knees in tears. He says he is willing to accept any punishment if he can just see his mother one more time and apologize to her in person. King Yomra coldly replies that he was given 15 full years, yet spent all of them running away from his guilt. Just then the earth begins to shake. Night silence transforms into the image of the mother once again. It turns out the younger brother's spirit appeared in her dream. In the dream, he tearfully tells her that he is heading to heaven to fulfill his dream of becoming a judge. He asks her not to worry and begs her not to blame his older brother. At that moment, the mother, who had been unable to speak, finally finds her voice within the dream.
송아.
She tells them she has never blamed either of her children and instead places all the blame on herself. The scene deeply moves everyone present. Looking on, King Yomra reflects that all humans carry sin, but very few sincerely ask for forgiveness, and even fewer receive true forgiveness in return. In the end, he tears up the judgment document. Because the firefighter has received genuine forgiveness from his family in the world of the living, hell no longer has reason to punish him. The firefighter is finally granted the chance to be reincarnated. Later, the lead guardian disguises himself as a delivery worker and delivers a gift the firefighter purchased before his death to his mother. Hidden inside is a letter written for her. In it, he tells her that one day he will return to her side. Why does life always leave behind so many regrets? Do not let unspoken love become a regret that can never be undone. Meanwhile, the final soul the guardians must escort is none other than the firefighter's younger brother. And the story of Along with the Gods is far from over.